The objective of our project was to find out if and how well each type of nut stores energy. After performing some research, we discovered that unlike carbohydrates, proteins, which are abundant in nuts, supply us with a slow, long-lasting supply of energy. Carbohydrates, on the other hand, only give us quick bursts of energy.
Also, depending on the nut, properties may be significantly different. These properties include characteristics ranging from amount of energy stored to other factors such as nutritional benefits and composition. For example, almonds are rich in iron and potassium, while cashew nuts display a wide variety of amino acids and copper. Also, walnut composition, for instance, includes many kinds of omega-3 fatty acids. For this experiment, we will be examining how cashew nuts and peanuts differ in energy storing capacities. Our testable question is how do different types of nuts have different energy storage properties. Our hypothesis is that nuts are energy filled and cashew nuts contain more energy than peanuts. Independent variable is the type of nut used. The dependent variable is the heat change in water when compared to mass change from nut, and the control group is the peanut. The project we chose is about the amount of energy stored in nuts. We hypothesized that nuts contain lots of stored energy. Also, that cashew nuts contain more stored energy than peanuts. To test our hypothesis, we used the following experiments. Testing the amount of stored energy in nuts using fire and water.
The materials we used are peanuts, cashew nuts, 2 paper clips, matches, a pin, measuring cylinder, 2 test tubes, 100 milliliters of water, a digital scale, stopwatch, and a thermometer.
Procedures. The first step includes weighing the nut, pinning a hole onto it with a pin, and attaching it to a clip, bending it like this as a support.
It should look a little like this. Step 2. Fill a test tube with 50 ml of water. Measure the water temperature. Place the test tube on a stand like the picture displays.
It should look a little like this.
Make sure that the nut and the test tube are 5 millimeters away from each other, and leave the thermometer inside the test tube.
In step 3, we will light the nut on fire, wait 1 minute for it to burn, and then put the fire out. After we've done that, we should measure the temperature of the water to see if it's increased.
Step 4. Calculate the change in temperature, weigh the nut again, and repeat everything with the other nut.
The results for the peanut were: the initial weight was 0.7 grams. The weight after burning was 0.26 grams. The difference in weight was 0.44 grams. The temperature increased 23 degrees Celsius. The calories used in burning were 1,050, and the calories per gram were 2,386. The results for the cashew nut were: the initial weight was 1.3 grams. The weight after burning was 0.78 grams. The difference in weight was 0.52 grams. The temperature increased 21 degrees Celsius. The calories used in burning were 1,150, and the calories per gram were 2,212.
To find out how many calories each type of nut burned, we use the following formula. Q is equal to Cm delta T. Q represents the calories used, M the grams of water, which would be 50, delta T the change in temperature in degrees Celsius, 21 and 23, and C the heat capacity of water. Heat capacity is the amount of heat necessary to heat up a certain substance by 1 degree Celsius. For water, this amount is 1, so C will be equal to 1. When solving for the peanut, we had 50 times 1 times 21. This gave us 1,050 calories burned. When solving for the cashew nut, we had 50 times 1 times 23, which is 1,150 calories used up. In order to determine how many calories are present in 1 gram of nut, we divided the calories used up by the mass used up, that is, the lost weight. However, be careful. To express the amount of energy in food, nutritionists use the term kilocalorie. You must have heard at some point or another phrases such as, a balanced diet should be around 2,000 calories. These are not actual calories, but kilocalories. A single kilocalorie contains 1,000 normal calories. Therefore, peanuts have 2.39 kilocalories per gram and cashew nuts 2.21 kilocalories per gram. In conclusion, our hypothesis proved to be only partially correct. Even though we were surprised with the amount of energy contained in cashew nuts and peanuts, the calories per gram for the peanut were higher than that of the cashew nut. By comparing each nut's nutrition facts, we may examine the differences they present in calories, fats, carbohydrates, protein, etc., the different properties that affect energy storing capacity. These are the peanut nutrition facts. And these are the cashew nut nutrition facts. However, even though nut energy storage capacities were surprisingly high, they are not significant cause for weight gain in people. This takes place because of three reasons. 1. Nuts have high satiety properties. After eating nuts, people generally face appetite reductions due to nuts' high fulfillment indexes. 70% of the energy provided by nuts is counterbalanced, considering the lowering of food consumption at following meals. 2. Nuts are not absorbed efficiently. The gastrointestinal tract is not able to absorb all of the fat contained inside nuts. Instead, we eliminate most of the fat we take in. Approximately 20% of lipids present in nuts are eliminated by our body. This represents around 10 to 20% of the total energy in a nut. 3. Nuts increase metabolism. People that consume nuts daily face an increase in their REE, resting energy expenditure, the energy we spend doing nothing. However, data errors such as a blow of wind onto the nut flame and heat loss of the environment by the fire and the water might have affected the final results of our experiment. Also, peanuts and cashew nuts weren't probably the best option of nuts, considering their energy content was very close, and even a slight error margin could have changed our results completely. Nuts with significant differences in caloric storage would have been a better idea.
And these are our references.